Everyone's favorite room in the home is always the kitchen, and there's so much to talk about in here. From the layout to the mixed materials, the colors, the decisions we made on lighting and backsplash. I'm gonna walk you through everything. Let's start with the layout. We felt like if we just had one straight run of upper cabinetry over here, it was gonna feel lopsided and kind of boring. So we decided to create symmetry. I think that anytime you can create symmetry around your range hood is an opportunity to make a statement. And we did that by adding these walls and framing out the hood so that we got a nice, beautiful focal point with the sink, the lights, and the range hood. And then we decided to treat this corner like a piece of furniture.
Like what?
Like a cabinet that's floor to ceiling, no countertop. It's just like all storage.
Like a glass front? No glass front. Closed?
Closed.
Closed storage.
Might be glass.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Find out.
It is cabinetry designed to look more like furniture. And we've done this by adding like a leg detail and doing lots of drawers that feels like a chest. The other part of this layout that's really unique is on this wall over here, we have a really long stretch of cabinetry from the kitchen all the way into the pantry. Instead of having a pocket door or some sort of division, it is all connected. So you get this beautiful view when you're standing in the great room, and that played into a lot of the decisions that we made throughout this kitchen. You wanna see one of my favorite views in the house? Just stand back here. You take it all in. You get the stone, you get the hood, you get the pantry view, you get the lights, you know.
That's a good little Shea vignette right there.
I love it, I'm excited. We have a few things that we've mixed. In the style of the cabinets themselves, we've mixed a flat inset panel, and then also these doors have this raised bead profile here. And although we mixed the cabinet colors, so we have this like warm color on the outside edges, and then we have the stain on the islands, the hardware's still the same. We have the pulse, and then we have these oval knobs. The place that we did mix them up is in the built-in furniture piece over here. We did a recessed pull that feels like really unique, and the tones tie this piece into the rest of the kitchen, but the hardware is what sets it apart and makes it feel like a really thoughtful detail. A question I get asked a lot is, should I do a contrast island? And the answer is, do what you love. I love a monochromatic kitchen that's all one color, and I love the mix as well. I will say that we have kind of transitioned out of the look of like the pop of color on the island, and it's more about texture. It's incorporating a wood stain in a place and mixing that with a painted cabinet instead of going with like a bold color in one place in the kitchen. In the living room, we talked about doing a contrast trim. We'll do like a really warm cream on the walls, and then we went a few shades darker on the trim. Well, we followed that same method and then took the cabinet color a few shades darker, so we kind of get this mix of creams and beiges. And I like that you're getting that tonality that really ties into the stone that we have throughout the entire home. Let's talk about the stone. We have a stone backsplash on one end of the kitchen, and then we have a completely different backsplash over here. So more mixing. That mixing is really thoughtful, and it just helps the kitchen feel like a higher end kitchen. We have the Zalige tile here, and we've seen Zalige tile before, but we've done it in an interesting way. So we have done this soldier course detail across, and just kind of helps shake it up, create interest, gives that like glossy quality throughout. We've taken it all the way up to the ceiling, and it surrounds probably the most important feature in this kitchen, which is the plaster hood with the limestone trim and corbel detail. This is a solid piece of limestone here, and that relates back to the mantle that's in the great room. Then over on this side of the kitchen, we have an entire backsplash of stone. We took it to the ceiling and it ties into what we have on the exterior of the home. It is just textural and organic, and it adds so much earthiness to it. It feels like this home belongs in the mountains. Layered lighting is so important throughout a space, and in the kitchen you can layer lighting as well. We did these pendants and they have a brass finish that relates back to the chandelier that's over the dining table. And then we decided to do 3 flush mounts and an articulating sconce, and those are in this antique brass finish that relates back to the hardware. I am so glad we flip-flopped these sinks. It makes so much more sense that this is the main sink. And this is an awesome prep sink. It's still huge. Mm-hmm. If you've seen our earlier webisodes when we were in the middle of the build of this home, you saw that this sink was supposed to be on the island and then the large sink was supposed to be on this wall. The thought process was the large sink looks out the view and then the sink on the island becomes prep sink, which is something that we do very often in our designs. But when we walked through, it was very clear that this was the focal point in the kitchen and this was the accent sink. So we had to make some changes. We swapped them, and I'm so glad we did because we're getting this beautiful long sink on the island. I love sinks that have like these integrated cutting boards, and this one has that little butcher block detail, which is, it's just really cool, but it's also functional. And then over here we have the prep sink. This is a normal size sink. It's a really big sink, but the faucet style is a prep style. Then behind me, you're seeing into the pantry. When we designed this, we wanted to make sure that this corner could look beautiful at all times, and then all the food storage could happen around the corner. We had a place for these open display and then some closed. You see here, we did this like cute cabinet detail where instead of doing this rail all the way around, we connected the cabinets, and then a plate wall here, which is a really nostalgic look that we've been incorporating into a lot of the homes that we've been designing. As far as appliances go, in every home we design, we integrate double dishwashers, a pull-out trash, and then always an ice maker. And then I like to hide the microwaves in the pantry if I can. I usually do a microwave drawer because they look better. So we've taken you through the kitchen and the pantry, and in our previous webisodes, we walked you through the entry, the living, the dining, and the office. So up next, we'll be taking you through all the bedrooms and the bathrooms.